Hello, good morning and welcome back to my channel. And here we are again in Laos, in northern Laos. I've just come out of the town of Huay Xai, which is on the border with Thailand, with Chiang Khong on the other side of the Mekong River. You can watch all about it in the top right of your screen now. But today in this video, I'm going to be turning left at this junction here and heading towards a place called Luang Namtha and show you around that town. But along the way, there's another small town which I'm going to stop at, which has got a museum and a couple of temples. Plus, I think there's a cave along the way and a hill tribe village as well. So I'll show you those. So anyway, let's get going, and hopefully the roads won't be too bad. But I've heard they're not very good here. So let's fingers crossed they're okay. So I'm about 2 kilometers from Vieng, the town. I've just stopped off the main road to this village called Ban Nam. I'll put the name up on the screen. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah. And these sort of villages really don't exist much at all in Thailand these days. All wooden, bamboo, grass, roofs, firewood for cooking. So I've just arrived in the town of Viengneua, and this is the museum. It looks closed, but I've just been inside and taken some photos, but there's very little to see. I mean, you can see it's not very big. So that's really about it. I don't know what else there is to see in town, but it's just a good stop-off point along the way. And in the vicinity of the museum, got quite a few small buildings which are administrative offices for the town and the local area. Not too sure this is actually open. We've got cows on the path, and then there's a ticket booth here, but there's nobody in it. I'll take a wander and see if it's accessible. It's meant to be only 100 meters from the entrance where you park up, so I suspect they don't get very many people down here, so it's a bit overgrown. It's like it's been abandoned, really. Do's and don'ts. So this is the cave entrance. I don't really know how far I can see inside. So obviously it's not lit up. There's a barrier anyway. Oh well. Anyway, as the cave's closed, right by the entrance there's some pictures and some history of the cave. I suspect it's closed because of flooding. We had a lot of rain during the wet season, both in northern Thailand and northern Laos in 2024. This is like the local area here. What there is to see. And then these are the different ethnic groups in this area in Vieng Phu. So we've got Gumu, Aka, Hmong, all kinds of hill tribes here. Okay, so I've reached the town of Luang Namtha. In fact, it's actually split into two, with an old part and a new part. Where I currently am is the old part, and there's quite a few old temples around here, and it's all centered around the airport because the town actually has a small, very small airport, which actually got bombed during, I think, the Vietnam War by the Americans back in the 1970s. And the town was actually moved about 6-7 kilometers up the road from here, and that's the new town. That's where you can find all the guest houses and cafes and restaurants, and that's the main tourist hub. I might show you a little bit of that later on. But for now, in the old part, I'm going to show you a few old temples, and then we're going to go and see a couple of hill tribe villages which are located just outside this town, as well as a couple of stupas also outside the town. In the new part there's a museum as well, hopefully that'll be open, as well as a market. So anyway, there's quite a bit to see here, so let's get going and see what there is. Okay, so the first site in Luang Namtha is this old temple. It's actually called Viengneua Temple, and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's right up the top end of the runway, and because when the runway was built, they actually had to move the village that this temple was in, so just leaving the temple, so that's why it's sort of in the middle of nowhere. It's a very useful information board here detailing this temple's history, and it's in English as well. So I say it was established in 1911. Okay, so this was actually relocated, it's saying here, to this current location because of the extension of the runway. So I was wrong. It's got some lovely frescoes here painted on the outside wall. So I'm just coming into the second village. This is Tong Pung. There's a sign for a primary school there. And what you can do, actually, you can rent bicycles and cycle around some of the sites here. They call it the Valley Route. There's a brown sign here. So I think there's must be maps you can follow. So these are just some of the houses here. Absolutely wonderful. There's just dust and dirt everywhere. just stopped on the way to my next site to admire this view. Very, very pretty. Laos is very, very pretty. At the same time, it's just so dusty, it's ridiculous. Okay, so I've just come a few kilometers west of town to this stupa, and this isn't the original stupa, as that got bombed by the Americans in the 60s. And I'll tell you a little bit about the history of the original stupa that was here as we're walking around. So again, this temple's got some lovely wall paintings on the front here. Unfortunately it's closed. Monks just been closing all the doors and windows. So right in the heart of things, where all the guest houses and cafes and restaurants are, I think pretty much every night you'll find little food night market here. And there's more, that's the main street there, and then there's more tables and stools just over there. Normally fresh food markets happen really early in the morning and are kind of finished by midday, early afternoon back in Thailand, but this one I think cashes in on the food market, on the food court. Okay, so I've got myself some vegetable noodles, which was 20,000 kip, and then some lovely crispy pork and some sauce. I think that was 35,000, and the big beer, I think that was only about 22, something like that. So, good morning. It's another day, and as you can see, it's a bit cloudy today. We had some rain overnight, but it's brightening up. This is the museum here in Luang Namtha, in this rather impressive building. So we'll take a look around at that. I think it's got quite a lot of exhibits about the different ethnic hill tribes here in the province and elsewhere. So this is the town's main market, fruit and veg market, and then there seems to be clothes and textiles and housewares over in that direction. You can see some of the huge dragon fruit and grapes, massive grapes. Selling rice and wheat and other things. Lots of chilies. This is a massive food court. It's like it goes on forever, all the way down there. Big huge plates of greens to eat with your food and chilies and soy sauce. Some people do actually speak some Thai here, so in fact some of the young kids at one of the temples I visited yesterday, when I said I speak Thai, they asked me what my name was in Thai, so it was quite good to actually communicate with them. It's a big area. All these ladies are cooking. I mean, this is early in the morning, so that's why there's not many people eating. People have already had their breakfast and gone. Little dishes laid out, and you just help yourself, and then she cooks it for you by the looks of it. And she's got fish here and other stuff that I don't recognise. No idea. There's clothes and shoes and other paraphernalia. I mean, it's a big place, big market. Okay, so this stupa will be the last site of this video. It's quite a landmark in Luang Namtha, but it sits on top of a small hill to the north of town. And that's where I'm going to leave off this video for now. If you like it, then give me a big thumbs up, and why not subscribe to my channel down below. Until the next video, see you later.